Hey there! So I know it's been quite a while since I made a video, and I wanted to first of all fill you in on why. The last video I made was kind of an update, and I was letting you know that I was going to be creating a lengthier documentary style of my Sweden video. Well, 2 days after I filmed that last video, my hard drive, which stores all of my files, it fell down the stairs and it broke. So I spent quite a bit of time researching and trying to figure out how to fix it. My friend who knows about all that stuff looked at it. There wasn't anything that we could do. I had a friend and a patron actually gift me the money to send it in, which was real expensive. So thank you so much to that wonderful person. So I sent it in to a company and they looked at it. Unfortunately, they were unable to extract any file over 200 megabytes, which is pretty much all of my video files. So that was actually really devastating for me because that is all my video files from the past 2 years. Pretty much all I have left at this point is the videos that I have posted on YouTube, which is good, but everything else is gone. I was able to get some pictures back, but everything else is gone, and I had kind of a hard time dealing with that. Looking back, especially the last 2 weeks that I spent in Europe, a lot of that time I just spent filming. I do have good memories from it, but a lot of my memories are through my camera and of taking videos. And now that those video files are lost, I kind of feel like, I don't know, I cheated myself out of the experience. So that whole thing happened and I kind of reevaluated. I decided to take a little step back from filming and just kind of live my life. And especially just coming back from Europe, I knew it was going to be a bit of a transition process. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. And so 2 months went by. So to give you a little recap on the rest of the time that I spent in Europe, I did go to Sweden and I stayed at a workaway house. It was in a small rural area called Uddebo. I stayed there for, I believe, 4 weeks, and it was a really great experience. The guy who runs this organization, it's actually an organization focused on arts and music. He is a professional djembe player, and so he does have music classes. He also has guest teachers come in and teach yoga and different forms of art, music, and movement. During the day, all of the workaway participants, I think there was about 20 of us at any given time, we would work on this side project he had of renovating a house. So it needed a lot of work. A lot has been done already, but pretty much our daily routine would be working there from 9 to about 4-ish with a lunch break in between. I worked on windows, cutting glass, putting them in the panes, re-puttying, basically refurbishing windows. I did that for about a week, and then I got moved to the kitchen, which I was really happy about, and I spent the next 3 weeks cooking for very large groups of people. It wasn't just me, there was a couple other people as well. It was really fun and I so enjoyed it. After 4 weeks, I did leave Uddebo and I did a 10-day backpacking trip around Scandinavia. So I went to Gothenburg, Sweden. I stayed there for a couple days in a hostel. From there I took a bus up to Oslo, Norway, which I also stayed for 2 days in a very questionable hostel. After exploring Oslo, I took a flight down into Hamburg, Germany, where I was able to meet up with a friend and patron, and he showed me around the city, which was really fun. I stayed in a hostel there as well, which was much nicer than Oslo. After a couple days there, I took another bus up into Denmark and over to Copenhagen, where I spent 3 more days in a hostel, and then I had a flight back to the US. So the last 10 days was really intense. It was a lot of moving around, a lot of switching buses and planes. Luckily, all of those distances are pretty short, and so even a plane ticket, like from Oslo to Germany, it's less than $100. It's like 50 bucks. Bus tickets are, I think, usually around 30, something like that. And so I just figured that I would rather spend a couple extra $100 and see all these cities and countries that I possibly am never going to go back to than to just stay in one place and take a more expensive plane ticket back to the US. I probably spent the same amount of money the way that I did it as I would have just taking a flight from Sweden back to the US. Just because depending on the location, you can get tickets really, really cheap. My flight back to the US was only, I think it was like $230. So, I mean, if you do it right, it can be really cheap. It was also kind of a bummer though, because pretty much the whole last 10 days that I spent there, all that traveling, I was really sick while I was doing that. I had a bad cold, and so instead of being out and exploring the city and enjoying these moments, quite a bit of that time I was just in bed. Despite everything, the whole trip was incredibly amazing, and I am so grateful that I was given this opportunity. Traveling Europe was on my bucket list for as long as I can remember, and I honestly didn't think I'd ever have the chance to do that. And the fact that I was able to go there for not just a couple weeks, but 4 whole months, it still is just blowing my mind. So I want to say thank you so much to everyone who has been watching these videos and that has been supporting me throughout the process. Again, it was incredibly amazing, and I will look back and cherish that time and these memories forever. I wish that I had the video files that I took to share with you, but I guess that's how life goes sometimes. I do actually have a video that I posted on my Patreon account months ago, which is from my time at the Sweden house. It was kind of an update video, and then at the end I put some clips of the different people that I was working with and some of the activity that we're doing around the house. So I will put that on my website, and if you click this link, one of these sides, you can watch that. I took probably like 8 hours of footage at the Sweden house, and it's still really devastating to me that I lost all of that. But these are the people that I was working with and some of the things that we were doing, and I really encourage you to check that out. Hopefully you enjoy just a little glimpse into what it was like. So all of this was just to kind of catch you up on the last of the time that I spent in Europe. And in the next video, I am going to be sharing what has happened since then, the transition that I've kind of been going through, and what I'm doing now. And I'm going to try to post that very soon this week for sure, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much. You have my love. Bye-bye.